hero's journey is purposefully passionate or passionately purposeful, whichever one is going to affect you guys the most. You pick. Okay, I'll start off with a quote by Patanjali, which I absolutely love. He was one of the founders. He wrote the Yoga Sutras a couple thousand years ago, which was one of the foundations for yoga. So this is his quote. When you're inspired by some great purpose, some extraordinary project, all of your thoughts break their bounds, your mind transcends limitations, consciousness expands in every direction, and you find yourself in a new, great, and wonderful world. Dormant forces, faculties, and talents become alive, and you discover yourself to be a greater person by far than you ever dreamed yourself to be. Growing up, I'd always really enjoyed personal improvement, motivational material, people like Anthony Robbins and things of that sort, but I just saw it as a hobby. I was like, you can't really do this for a living. So my dad always taught us, whatever you choose to be the best person. If you're going to be a garbage man, be the best garbage man. There's nothing wrong with what you choose, just be the best that you can at it. So with this in mind, I excelled in school. I went to college to University of Miami, and I did Air Force ROTC. Now, I never really knew what my passion was or what I wanted to do in life. I was always envious when people said, I'm going to be a fireman, a police officer, a doctor. And I was like, man, I wish I knew what my passion was. And I was like, well, for the time being, let's just keep it nice and general. So I majored in business, and I did Air Force ROTC, so I would have a guaranteed job afterwards, right? Because security is good. That's what they tell us. That wasn't an embedded command, by the way. I actually would say the opposite is true in that case, but we'll get to that near the end. So, and then same thing, so I'm doing the Air Force ROTC program, and I'm like, I want to be the best. So what's the best? And they say being a pilot is pretty much one of the best things you can do in the Air Force. So I'm like, I'm going to be a pilot. I never thought once about being a pilot. I had no idea what it took, but I just wanted to be the best. So with this in mind, I excelled, and I became a pilot. And it was pretty tough that year. It was a year-long course, and I didn't have the best studying habits leading up to it, so I had a really hard time with that. And then the flying part itself didn't come easy, but my back was against the wall, and I actually almost failed out the course a couple times. But I made it. And my first assignment was in England, United Kingdom. I lived in Cambridge, and it was an amazing experience. So here I was, living the dream, right? I'm a pilot in the Air Force. Every time people are like, what do you do for a living? I'm a pilot. Oh, right? I'm doing big things, making good money, living the dream. In about September of '09, I went through this phase where I was just having a lot of fun, kind of partying, having a great time, and then I just realized, what am I doing here? This is not me at all. And in a way, I allowed kind of society's constructs of making a good living, having a stable future, and I allowed this to take me to a point in my life where I was just like, this is not me. And I felt this before, but it kind of just reached the point where I realized I was negating a lot of aspects of myself in order to fall in line